Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and this is part 4 of driving a Rover to the North Pole, part of my 60 subscriber special. And this is Monkey Butt Herman. So I think to the YouTube user who commented the passenger name that I said I would do, I said school appropriate, and I guess Monkey Butt is kind of school appropriate. Also, I think YouTube removed the comment because I think you said butt. So if you didn't see the comment, that's why. We didn't remove it. YouTube's algorithm removed it. But I guess since you were the first person to comment a name, you get it. So there's Monkey Butt Kerbal. Yeah. So we are setting off. We have Point Delta set as our target. And today we have a very long journey. I'm just making sure the brakes are turned off so I don't waste electricity. This is going to be our longest jaunt that we have made. I'm going to keep my average speed up a little higher than I have the past episodes. I want to try and keep these down to an hour. I gave myself basically an hour and a half to do this, which is fine. I do have to leave in an hour and a half, so I'm cutting this really close. But if I keep my speed up, I think we'll be fine. I'm turning the UI off because I really like the look of it. I wish I could just drive it without the UI. But I have the problem that this kind of pulls to the right. And I find, even though I think I am correcting, when I open the UI back, that I'm always a little bit further right than I thought I was. And also, it's hard to gauge how fast I'm going. See, I'm not going as fast as I'd like. But anyway, we are on our way. This is basically the fourth segment. The first segment was driving from the KSC to Point Able, then Point Able to Point Baker to Point Charlie, and now I've switched to the standard NATO alphabet instead of the old Able Baker one, and we're going to Point Delta because in the Able Baker alphabet, I almost said altitude, which that's something different. Man, I need to finish this coffee. In the Able Baker alphabet, I'd be going to Point Dog, and I don't know. I just like I don't really have a good reason other than it's what I wanted to do, and yeah. So I'm doing what I want to do. We're going to Point Delta. And so I'm going to try and not look at the map. I want to wait till I'm about 45 minutes into this. At least 45 minutes into this before I look at the map. which I just know we have a long way to go today. So, what's happening in space news? I have not yet heard. So let me go back. Hurricane Nicole was inbound to Florida, and it was not supposed to be a hurricane when it hit. It was supposed to be a tropical storm at worst, or it was even forecast to be a subtropical storm. So they decided to keep the SLS on the launch pad. Well, after that decision was made and it was already too late to do anything, Nicole began to strengthen and then was predicted to make landfall as a hurricane, which was a problem. The maximum wind gust for the SLS is around 85 miles per hour, and now they're talking about sustained winds at least that high, with gusts higher. And Nicole made landfall. I think the launch tower recorded gusts as strong as 100 miles per hour. And, well, nothing like catastrophic happened, but they're not sure, at least as of yet, they have not heard of any damages or with what they're going to do. I've heard that they are probably going to be postponing the November 14th launch. So, yeah. But it did experience winds that were above the limit. But they do have a big issue where that the boosters, if they don't launch soon, the boosters will, I guess the boosters have an expiration date of November 25th. And that's quickly approaching. And I don't know. I know everybody is really down on the SLS because it cost too much. It's taken a lot longer and hasn't produced much. And I'm also very sad about it, but I still want it to succeed. I know everybody is saying, Starship and Super Heavy can do basically the same thing for a lot cheaper. And I agree with that, but I think we need I think we need SLS also, but man, we just gotta do better. And I think we could have done better, but I don't know. Well, I mean, on the same thing, we have yet to launch Super Heavy, and it's kind of a race to see which one. If SLS does not launch this month, it appears that Falcon Heavy may launch before. I think Falcon Heavy is looking for a December launch. They have, as of the day of this recording, not done the full 33 engine static test fire. I think they did do a spin prime test. Was that was Wednesday maybe? I'd have to go back and check, but yeah, so they did destack ship 24. They took it off the booster. And the next step is to test the booster with a full 33 engine static fire and then restack it. There are a few more tests. They need to do a wet dress rehearsal and then get the launch license from the FAA, and they'll be good to go. And it is believed, if there is no anomalies, that they could have a December launch. I will always preface this that I'll believe it when it happens, but that is what the word that the proverbial they are saying. And the proverbial day is professed by Elon, which Elon is saying a lot of crazy things these days, and I'm very sad about that. Hey, for $8 you can verify your Twitter account. And that has worked out spectacularly. I hope you haven't noted the sarcasm. I think the whole thing is he knew this would be a disaster, and he has just gotten thousands of people to pay him $8 and is just taking the profits and running away from them. He's acting like he's sincere, but I think he just wanted to make, some quick money. And I'm driving up a hill. I'd like to get a thumbnail where a good portion of the vehicle's off the ground, but I also don't want to jump a hill, because that's asking for something to break. And I hope I don't break anything. I do now have repair kits, though, that I brought on the car that I added at the small little base before last. So we do have repair kits if we do need to fix any wheels. But I've never done that since they changed how to do that. It used to be just get a Kerbal out and fix it, and now you need to have repair kits. So I don't know how that works. But I guess if the need arises, we need an engineer. I believe Vomit is an engineer, so I'd probably get Vomit out to do it. And Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my speed up. I'm really a little bit nervous because this is... I've always kept the Rover. I usually try and keep it around 24 meters per second, which is about 55 miles per hour. Let's see. So 30 meters per second is about 67 miles per hour. And I've gotten this thing up to around 36 meters per second. So, yeah. I guess I'm also, other than just keeping the speed up, the terrain here, while it's altogether flat, there's seems to be more small hills going up and down, and it has the potential to be a little bit the two things I'm most afraid of are that I'm going to be driving along the side of a hill and I'll tip the Rover over. It's pretty stable front and backwards, but side to side, it does have a potential threat of tipping over. When I tested it, it stayed pretty stable unless I made a very aggressive turn, which could cause it to tip over. The other thing I'm afraid of is that when I'm going this fast, I will come to a point where the terrain is going to change drastically and I go over or crest a very steep hill that it's steep on the other side, and I'm just flying through the air. And we hit the ground hard or uneven, and that causes us to roll or flip. Or at best, just break some of our tires. I still don't know what I would do in that situation. So I haven't been stopping at all during any of these missions to quick save. Basically, I save when I exit the game, which means I don't save until I'm at the next point. So if anything happens between then, the only thing I can do is completely start over. I haven't done that yet. But here we are. So we're about 20 minutes into this. I got another 25 minutes more before I look at the map. I think I have been dropping frames, and I'm fine when I'm in the game normally. I think OBS is taxing my system a little bit. I've tried to tweak things, so hopefully it's a little bit better today. So about a month ago, I had a huge problem with OBS. What I did was OBS was complaining that I hadn't updated it. So I thought, oh, well, I guess it's time. Let's go ahead and do the update. So I updated it, and then it complained that it's not compatible with my video drivers. I need to update to the new version of video drivers. Well, I did that. That was also a little bit of a hassle. And then seemingly all was good, except for the fact that I could no longer record video, or at least it would record video, but the video was like frame, and then 15 seconds later another frame, and then 15 seconds later another frame. So I wasn't recording any watchable video no matter what I did. I went through all my settings, I tried to fix it. It only got slightly better, where it was like a frame a second, and that was the best I could get. And nothing I could do seemed to fix this problem. So what I ended up doing was uninstalling OBS and reinstalling the initial version that I had installed from probably 2 years ago. And since then, it still hasn't been quite right, but it's working better than the newer version, which basically didn't work at all. And I would have been in, like, during that time, I wasn't able to record any new videos. I was far enough ahead with the reusable space program. I didn't actually miss any releases. The only thing is I hadn't yet recorded the season finale, and I still haven't. But since I started the 60 subscriber special, I've decided I'm going to probably finish this first before I release the season finale. And the season finale is coming. Everything is basically set up for it, and I'm just going to... Jebediah is going to be doing a tour of all the facilities of the reusable space program, and I think because I'm going to need the Highway 47 crew to come back from the North Pole, I think I'm going to have Jeb fly them back in an aircraft, so he's going to have to take an aircraft from the Kerbal Space Center and fly to the North Pole and pick up the Highway 47 crew and fly them back. And that can be part of his stay on Kerbin, since, visiting the North Pole base is one of the facilities. So Jebediah is currently on Columbia Station in orbit of the moon, or the Mun. However you want to pronounce that. So the plan is for him to go from Columbia Station and land at the surface base on the Mun, and then fly back to the station and catch, I don't remember if it's one of the space buses, or he'll be taking the Canterbury, the tanker ship, back to Enterprise Station in orbit of Kerbin. He'll take the SSTO to land, at the KSC, and then from there board an aircraft, fly to the North Pole, and then back, then take the SSTO back to Enterprise Station, where he will take a space bus. Actually, no, he's going to take the SUV to Minmus, where he will land on the surface of Minmus, and then fly back up to Challenger Station in orbit of Minmus, and then take the space bus to Kerbal, refuel at Enterprise Station, and then continue on the space bus back to Columbia Station in orbit of the Mun. And that is because the space bus that normally services the Mun is actually in orbit of Minmus because it dropped off one of the tank units to Challenger Station. And that will actually get everything reset where it should be for the next season. The only thing I'm missing is there is no mining ship for Minmus Station, and I currently don't have a surface base for Minmus Station, which I would also like to get set up. Hey, I want to remind everybody that if you haven't already done so, like and subscribe this video. It helps out the YouTube algorithm stuff. I appreciate all our new and welcome all our new subscribers that we've had in the recent month. I think in the past 28 days we have something like 15 or 16 new subscribers. So the whole point of this video was a 60 subscriber challenge. When I posted that, we were at 51 subscribers. I said if we reach 60 subscribers by the end of 2022, that I would embark on driving a rover from the Kerbal Space Center to the North Pole. We reached that goal, I think it was November 1st. So a lot sooner than we expected. And as of the recording of this video, we are at 68 subscribers. One away from the nice statement. And I also said that if we reach 70 before I finish this, I would do one episode in first person, which I need to look and see if there's a way I can have the target data on the nav ball inside the cockpit. That way I don't have to keep switching back to make sure that I'm heading towards the target. I'm a little bit concerned about there are a couple jaunts where it will be very difficult to do in first person and will probably take a little bit longer if I have to do it in first person. I also kind of didn't think we'd reach 70 subscribers by the end of this, but we're only 2 away, at least as of the recording. So So, yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought. But hey, right now, I would be presenting a list of our Patreon contributors, but we don't have any at the moment. But hey, if you would like to donate to our Patreon, we'll have a new $2 tier. Sure. I don't know how to set up tiers on Patreon. But hey, if you donate Patreon and send us a message with a school appropriate name, you can be a passenger on one of the reusable space program videos. And I'll put your name up right here. I can't promise that it will be part of the North Pole expedition. I already know who the next passenger is going to be, and I really only plan on picking up maybe 2 more people. Monkey Butt Kerman, I'm going to drop you off probably at Point Foxtrot. You can yeah, I'll drop you off at Point Foxtrot. Now that I've said it. Hey, if you would like to name this rover something school appropriate and does not contain how do I word this? Is not a reference to a part of the human anatomy that can be seen in public places. I'm going to get myself in trouble being too specific. Somebody's going to take that as a challenge. And technically, I guess monkey butt isn't part of the human anatomy that can be seen in public because monkey butts don't wear clothes. And and here we are. That's why we have Monkey Butt Kerman. Because I issued something and I said I was going to do something and I'm going to do it. And now we have Monkey Butt on the rover. Bill's okay with it though. Man, we're 33 minutes in there. All I have to do is find something to talk about for 27 more minutes. And I'm leaning a little bit more to the left than I like to. But okay, we're leveling out. It's fine. I'm also trying to watch my electricity use. It's doing better this time since I brought on that extra car with the extra battery capacity, and I knew I was going to be going a little bit harder today trying to keep my speed up, which is going to use more electricity. But I think ideally I make it to the halfway point with half my electricity, and I'm hoping I'm about halfway there now, meaning I've only used about 30% of my battery power right now, so I'm good, unless I'm only a third of the way there, in which case I might not be good. I don't know. Okay, so like I switched the thing switched to target, so I looked and I'm not quite halfway there. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but I thought since it switched the target, maybe I was suddenly in range. I'm not sure why it switched there. Maybe I hit a button that switched it. Okay. Just got to keep the speed up. Not going to look 10 more minutes, and then I will have a serious look at the map to see where I'm at. I still don't know if I've gotten a good image yet for the slide. I realized that most of the slides have the rover traveling to the right, so maybe this time I would get one where the rover is traveling to the left. I don't have a very good reason for that other than to be something different. Okay, yeah, back above 7,000. So I think I'm good, even if I have to keep pushing the power. I'm trying to keep it around 30 meters per second. And ever since I added that one car, it pulls to the right, and I don't know why, because technically everything should be lined up, all the modules for this. So what I did was I basically designed a chassis, and all of the modules are based on the same chassis with just different pieces on top. That way they're really easy to make sure they all get connected together, and I don't have to worry about having weird height differences. Since technically they should all be roughly exactly the same. So this part of Kerbal seems relatively, it's just minor hills going up and down, still more trees. I don't know if the trees are causing me to drop frames. Again, if I play the game and I'm not recording, it's not so bad, but occasionally I start losing frames every now and then. I think it's when the game starts to load more trees, which I guess I could turn the scatter, I think it's scatter down, which would give me less trees, but I kind of like the trees. I don't know. So, other space news recently, divers off the coast of Florida have found a piece of the Challenger. So I am old enough to remember, I was very young at the time, but I remember the day the Challenger exploded, watching the news. I also remember I was in college by the time of the Columbia disaster. I actually didn't hear about it until I was at a school function and they actually made an announcement about it. Ooh, that was a nice one. Maybe that'll be the slide. I'll need to course correct a little bit. Occasionally I try and overcorrect, and if I see I'm coming up to trees, maybe go to the left side of the trees. Maybe not run into the tree. It looks like I'm going to run into it, but I'm going to go past this tree on the right. But I do need to turn probably past these two trees on the right and head. No, I'm going to pass. Yeah. I don't want to turn too sharply because then all it takes is me overcorrecting one time to tip this over, and that'll be a very bad day. Also, I basically need to be leaving here in about 45 minutes. So I need to wrap up the recording by then. I mean, that's going to still get me to where I am a little early, but you know, I don't want to be late. So I don't want to push this too close. Like, you know, a couple minutes over an hour for this record. I think the last video ended up being an hour and 6 minutes. This one, if it's that long, that's no problem. An hour and 10 minutes. I figure this one's probably going to be closer to an hour and 10 minutes. But like, if it went to an hour and a half, then I'd be in trouble. I probably at this point have a bunch of people looking at the timeline and laughing at me because you guys can just see how long this is going to take. I don't know. So like I said, if this goes to an hour and a half, I will basically have to jump off this recording and run out the door, which is not what I want to be doing, but that would still get me there early. So it's not like I'd be having to rush over an hour and a half, and then I'm in trouble. Yeah, I need to keep my speed up. I'm slowing down going up the hills. So I think at one point in time on one of our journeys through this, we were at almost 900 meters above sea level, and this whole time has been around, I think, 480 to maybe 580. So this part of Kerbal seems to be roughly right around that elevation. Oh wow, my speed's dropping a lot. I need to pick up. And battery, we're keeping about 6,300 units of electricity. Trying to get my speed back up, keep our course towards Point Delta. And it's about time to check the map. Okay. So it seems like I was hoping to be a little bit closer. And I'm only halfway there at 45 minutes. Putting the speed on. I may have miscalculated, and I probably should have started this video recording half an hour sooner than I did. It would really stink to have to stop and basically reload back at Point Charlie. I'm just gonna keep going, and hopefully I can keep the speed up, and I would like to make it there in the next half hour. That would give me an hour and 15 minutes as the hour and 15 minute full length to the video. Which is where I thought this would be within the hour and 15 minutes. Now I'm not so sure, and now I'm a little bit nervous that I'm only halfway there and this is going to take an hour and a half, which the problem is I need to be leaving here where I'm at. I need to be leaving in about an hour and a half. So I just gotta, as they would say in Smokey and the Bandit, put the hammer down. Yeah. Huh. Yep, just keep the speed up, hope the frames don't drop, and keep pointing towards Point Delta. Yeah, I probably didn't plan this out as good as I thought I could have. Worse yet, I'm running out of coffee. What else is going on? Where are we? Is it time? 5 more minutes. Now I'm antsy about checking the map because I want to see how much closer I am. Hopefully I don't hit a tree. You can see, look on my Kerbin's face, Dracofunk Kerbin. Now he's a little bit concerned, as I am also concerned. And that hill looks a little bit... I gotta keep the speed up, but I also don't want to fly over the top of one of these hills. Hey, there was some floating grass. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Like, it seems like you're gonna get to the top of that hill, and there's gonna be basically a big jump, but nah. So, back to SLS news. SLS was supposed to launch this Monday, November 14th, I believe, is the date. I don't think it's actually going to make that launch. I think they're going to hold it for a few days to check and make sure that nothing was damaged during the hurricane. But it seems like they have to launch it by the 25th. Otherwise, they may have to replace the boosters. I think they're talking about the solid rocket boosters. Because it is set around much longer than it was intended to, and the propellant on the boosters it loses its potency after a certain number of days, and that the expiration date on the boosters is something like November 25th. So they're stuck between like a rock and a hard place, and if they don't launch by the 25th, it sounds like they're going to have to roll it back and probably exchange the boosters, which will lead to a whole... If they do that, I can't imagine there being another attempt to launch it until next year, which will be a shame. It was supposed to launch in August, and there were all sorts of hydrogen fuel leaks, and they had to roll it back to the hangar, and then they sent it back out, did a whole bunch of tests, and then Hurricane Ian came through, and they had to roll it back again to the bay to protect it. And then they just brought it back out, and Nicole came along, and they decided to keep it out during the storm because the storm wasn't supposed to be super strong, and it ended up being stronger than predicted, and it has been hit by winds that were above the safety margin, and here we are today. We are now about a week and a half away from the booster's expiration date. The launch attempt was supposed to be Monday. I really don't think they're going to do that. NASA may have already announced by the time this video comes out whether they're going to postpone Monday's launch date or not. I know, on the other hand, rushing and having a huge accident where they potentially lose the spacecraft would be detrimental to the program as well. At the same time, also not launching the program is going to be super detrimental. So where do they go? Where do they go from here? It's about time to check the map. I'm nervous because if I look at it and I'm not where I want to be, I'm postponing it. I'm going to do it. Just get to a place where I'm not worried about tipping over. I'm kind of leaning. Kind of want to be on that flat section to the right. Much further away than I'd like to be. And leaning, not leaning as bad as I thought I was. I'm trying to actually get down to that flat section because I'm looking up, there's kind of a hill up ahead of me. I'm afraid if I go around the side of the hill, I'll be so occasionally I have to turn to the left, and I'm leaning to the right now. So every time I do that, I have more of a potential to flip or roll, I should say. As opposed to if I was leaning to the left and turning left, then that would be good, but instead I'm leaning to the right and trying to turn left. I'm down to about half battery now. I still got to keep the speed up. Slightly worried about coming over these hills. Dropping frames. I have to leave in about half an hour. See, I feel like if I go straight, that hill's gonna be a little bit I think I had intended me to be driving basically that valley to the right, and instead I'm kind of on the side of the hill. Just going to turn the UI off for a minute. Keep my speed up. Yeah, I really need to, I think I need to get down on that flat section a little bit. Just leaning a lot more than I'd like to. You know, I should make sure my Audacity is still recording. Okay, it seems like my Audacity is doing good. That would be a shame to lose all this recording now that I've rambled on for over an hour. I was hoping to be maybe 10-15 minutes away from Point Delta, and just trying to get an overview to see what the terrain's going to be like. I love that I can see that mountain off in the distance. But I wish I was a little bit closer. Trying not to have sweaty palms as I make that turn. I know I'm not heading quite there. I think pretty sure I intended to be on that flat portion, driving around this big hill that I'm actually on the side of, which is not where I really wanted to be, but I'm going to try and get down there a little bit to the flatter section, and then hopefully from there I can head directly to Point Delta, keep my speed up, and get there so I don't have to. Whee! That was a nice jump. So, yeah. So my plan was to leave my house in basically 26 minutes from now, and I basically thought I would finish this and still have 15 minutes to get ready and walk out the door, and now I'm slightly uncertain whether I will finish this in time. At least Bill's having a good time. I hope Monkey Butt is doing well. I don't know why his picture has to be right next to mine. If you are the person who commented Monkey Butt, first of all, thanks for the comment. Second of all, I wish you'd chosen a different name. And now we have Monkey Butt Kerman. And I said I was going to take you all the way to Foxtrot. We're not even the Delta. That means 3 episodes of Monkey Butt. What did I do? Oh. Keep the speed up, keep the speed up. If I'm not watching my speed and I slow down, and I also don't want to rush this, because when you rush stuff, you start to make mistakes, and that's as soon as I start rushing and feel like I have to like put the speed down, which I'm losing speed because I'm going uphill, is, oh man, I'm way, way further away than I'd like to be. Way further away than I'd like to be. Huh. So I'm hoping 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes. If it goes over that, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. So this video should come out this video should be coming out noon on Friday. This evening, our 4-drink minimum commentary will be Logan's Run. I have yet to. I finished editing that video. Shaggy B usually makes our slides. I don't have the slide for it yet, so if that might be running a couple minutes late, because I have to get the slide, render the video, which takes a little bit of time, and then, hey, flying grass, or no, say sometimes the grass looks floaty. Anyway, render the video, which takes a little bit of time, and then upload it to YouTube. If I get, as the recording of this on Thursday, if I get that by Thursday evening, the video should be on time. If not, last week he was running a little bit late, so I think our commentary from Wolverine was a couple hours late. We all have day jobs and things we're going to do, and while we try and keep a schedule, we sometimes get behind due to we were at one point 3 weeks ahead, and there was a planned episode where we recorded one of our holiday specials, so that would only put us 2 weeks ahead, and then we lost an episode due to an audio issue, meaning so if we record something like the video we record tonight, because we usually record on Friday nights, will come out next Friday, which puts a lot of pressure on us to edit the audio and then make the slide and get it out basically in 1 week. And we usually are able to get that done, but it does mean that there is little room for any wiggle room. We've also been recording different Let's Plays. Vomit has been doing a Nuzlocke run. Each season is his attempt at a run, and if the run fails, he starts another season. We are currently on season 4. However, season 4 seems to be going well. We took a break from that because we released our Halloween special where the Highway 47 crew played I'm on Observation Duty together. And last week, Shaggy B released a Let's Play of Beyond All Reason, or BAR, which is a free game based off, it uses a Spring engine, and it's based off of Total Annihilation, which we've all played so much of. I remember when Spring came out, we were all excited about that, and it didn't quite live up to our expectations. But Beyond All Reason is actually very, very close to the original Total Annihilation, but better. It doesn't, while they intend to allow it to be moddable in the future, there are currently no mods for it, so we do miss some of the modded units that we were used to playing with. I had my own version of the game where I added a whole bunch of mods, and we have been playing that together. But Shaggy B released a Let's Play of that last week, so go check that out. I don't believe we have an Orville episode coming out this week. We usually record those with Scrodrick, and last week I was unavailable to record that episode, so it's my fault. In fact, I wasn't even on tonight's 4-drink minimum, which is Logan's Run, because I was unavailable, which happens occasionally. Not all of us are available. Next week, though, we are back to the Marvel movies. We are doing a Marvel detour, though. We will be watching the 1979 Captain America. And so we have a list of movies we're going down, and if there are certain movies where we all want to make sure that we're all available for, and if we can't do that, we do a detour. Similar to what we did, we watched all the Godzilla movies. And if Vomit was not available, we would do a detour and watch another monster movie. We watched some very, very interesting movies along that genre. I think we watched some Korean monster movies, some other British monster movies, another Japanese monster movie that was not part of the Godzilla franchise. What are some of the movies we watched that were Godzilla? Well, we watched all the Godzilla movies, but some of the detours we took were Yongary and Yongary 2000, which was the remake, which was actually worse. Actually, both Yongarys were kind of terrible in their own ways. Pulgasari, Gappa, the Triphibian monster. I believe that one was a British movie. I could be wrong. Oh no, I think Gappa was Japanese. Gorgo is what I'm thinking of. Gorgo was the British one. So if you okay, I'm starting to get there, but I don't. Oh man, I don't know if I can make it there in 10 minutes. going to check again in 5 minutes. I'm going to switch to checking every 5 minutes at this point. So I need to be leaving my house basically in 15 minutes. I thought this episode would be done by now. Hey, there was some floating grass. I think that's what we should do now. If you want to watch this video as a drinking game, every time you see floating grass, drink. Maybe that's what I should be doing. Although I'm recording these in the morning, so it would be really bad to start my day off by playing a drinking game, and I'm not going to do that. That would be bad, and I'm not going to do that. So as I was saying, if you want to watch some bad movies and listen along with us, check out some of our other audio commentary videos. Hey, floating grass, drink. Maybe that's a bad idea, depending on, because it's seeming to be more common. It's either a really bad idea or a really good idea. We have watched the first 2 seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation. We are currently going through Star Trek Lower Decks. We are on the 3rd season of that, and we will be getting some episodes of that out soon. We've also been slowly going through Star Trek The Animated Series, because I have not watched every episode, and I don't believe Shaggy B has either. We've both attempted to, and not quite made it. There was some nice air. We are finishing up with season 3 of the Orville. Those will probably be out over the next couple weeks. And our big current project is all of the Marvel movies, not just the MCU, all of the Marvel movies. At least all of the cinematic released Marvel movies. We do make, as I said, detours where we go pick up and watch some of the made-for-TV movies. We have watched the 1978 Spider-Man, which was very 1978. And next week we will be watching, well, I say next week, for us it'll be this week. But next week for you, we will be watching the 1979 Captain America. We've also watched the 1978 Doctor Strange made-for-TV movie. So I don't really know what to expect with this. I know Captain America looks hilariously bad. He looks at the same time better and worse than the 1990s Captain America. If you're following along with our watch throughs, we're currently in phase 2 of the MCU, and we're getting ready. I think the next MCU video we'll watch is Thor: The Dark World. So we have that to look forward to. Which Thor: The Dark World is probably my least favorite MCU movie. I don't actually remember that much about it. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to. But, once we get past that, we're past it, and, sometimes we go down and we're in the trough, and from the trough, you can only head up to the peak, and that's what kind of happens in the MCU. Okay, at least I feel like I'm making progress. I think I'm more than 5 minutes away. I'm hoping I'm only 10 minutes away. I'm pushing the speed. I'm trying to keep it up around 32 meters per second. .33. Coming up to a hill. 5 more minutes and I'm going to check the map. Hopefully for the last time. Yeah, I need to start giving myself a little bit more time to record these. I have greatly underestimated the amount of time it would take me to get to Point Delta. Hey, floating grass. Yeah, all the Kerbals seem a little bit concerned now. Except Bob. Bob's fine. He's used to riding with Jebediah, and this is nothing new. So, I really am supposed to be leaving my house now in less than 10 minutes, and I am not there. I'm not even as close as I wanted. Well, I wanted to already be there by this point and be packing up. If this takes more than 8 minutes, I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. Again, if I'm a couple minutes late, it's leaving. It's not a super big deal because I plan on getting there. I'm giving myself an extra half hour, but at this point, it becomes the longer I take, the less wiggle room I have. And, I'm not going to be able to, run out of the room where I'm recording and just get into my car. Ooh, it's pretty close to that tree. Okay, not as close as I thought. It's got to be just right around here. I have to be close to it. I really want to keep looking back at the map, but I'm going to hold off for another minute or so. I really want to just pour the speed on, but that's a bad idea. The worst thing that could happen right now is to be this close and then wreck the Rover because I'm trying to rush. And that's exactly what's happening, because right now I really want to just put extra speed on and get to the next base and get this recording over with. But this would be the worst possible time to wreck the Rover, because if I did that, I probably wouldn't get this episode out on time. And by time, there's not really, nobody's holding, a gun to me, the figurative gun, saying, if you don't release this episode on time. But we want to try and keep our release schedule. So these coming out on noon over the next couple days, 5 minutes to get there. Man, I'm going to... It's going to be so close. Yeah, we like to keep a release schedule. My plan is for these to come out at noon on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Although next Friday the noon release will probably be a Lower Decks episode. No, I take that back. If we don't record an Orville episode this evening, I will probably go ahead and release another episode of that, assuming I don't wreck the Rover at noon on Friday. Lower Decks, I've been putting out the Lower Decks episodes Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Vomit and Shaggy B and other Let's Plays have been coming out Monday at 5 o'clock. Our 4 Drink Minimum episodes come out Fridays at 5 o'clock. Or close to there. If it doesn't come out at 5 o'clock, just wait a little bit. We'll try and get it out as soon after that. And even this, sometimes... so I'm not going to be able to start the render of this because there's no way, even if I got there right now, I would have time. So I'm going to have to render this tomorrow morning and then upload it, which means getting this out by noon is going to be very, very... It's going to be close. Okay, I'm going to check here. I'm going to check the map every 2.5 minutes. And see how close I am. Because I gotta know. I'm supposed to be leaving here in basically 2 minutes was what I was planning. I'm going to check the map, and if I'm not, right on top of it... I don't know. I don't want to look. Because if I'm not right on top of it, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I gotta do it. Okay, I'm too nervous. I need to be leaving my house. Basically 1 minute from now. Okay. I'm really close. I can do this. I might be a minute away. It would really, really, really stink if I come over a hill and wreck the Rover within view of Point Delta. So this is the time when it's right over the hill. This would also stink if my Audacity quit recording. Where are we at? Okay. Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay. We are now basically... It is the time when I expected to be walking out the door. And... I I am still not there. Is that it? I keep hoping that I see the base. I'm like right on top of it. It's got to be right here. I don't see it. Now I'm sitting here leaning into my monitor. Hopefully I'm going to just go right over this hill and there it will be. It's got to be right over this hill. I'm now a minute past the time when I need to be leaving my house. I don't see it. Wait. Is that it? Oh, there it is. And yes, there is an extra passenger car sitting there. I'm going to keep this very brief, guys. Thanks so much for all the new subscribers. Like, and if you haven't, subscribe, and check out all the other things on the Highway 47 videos. Check out my whole reusable space program, which is mostly reusable. Like and subscribe. Hey, if you want to donate to our Patreon, it helps out, and it keeps us motivated, like when we're supposed to be running out of the house. Anyway, this has been our 60 subscriber special, part 4. Thanks, guys. Have a great day and great evening, and I'll see you next time.